Hey everyone, welcome to another tutorial video. Once again, we're going to take a look at QnA Maker, the CLI, and that's of course with Microsoft Bot Builder Tools. And when you get onto this page, you can of course go to QnA Maker, and I'm going to say of course 100 times in this tutorial video, but that's quite all right. So here's your README for your QnA Maker, and you see that it has a bunch of command line information. We're going to work primarily with the KBSs, so we're going to work with the knowledge bases in this video. So I'm in here from a previous application. We're going to clear that out real quick. We're going to run a couple of commands. So let's do QnA Maker list KBSs, which will give you a list of all of your knowledge bases associated with that account. Now I only have one in this particular account, this particular subscription, and you'll notice that it carries a significant amount of information in here: user ID, URL, source, custom information, the host name. So if this was more than one, you would actually see an array of objects in here. We just have a singular object, and so that can kind of get you a list of your knowledge bases. Now where that comes in handy is it actually comes in handy when you were creating things from the command line, because you don't actually have your knowledge base ID when you go to create a payload. And create that payload, you upload it to the QnA Maker from the command line. You can then run this to actually figure out, okay, well, give me the name of the thing that I just uploaded, and I need to know what the ID is because I have to plug that ID into some other information. So what other things can you do? So let's do QnA Maker get KB. And so a lot of these things actually require your knowledge base ID. So that's where running this kind of comes in handy. So you can actually get that knowledge base ID. And then we're going to go ahead and push that code through. And you see this actually gives me the same exact information as it gave me up at the top. The only difference is that this is a single thing rather than an array of knowledge bases. Just this gives me a single knowledge base information. So if you have the knowledge base ID, but you're missing something like the host name, or you need to know what URLs were input or what the sources were, again, last access time, change time, publish time, if you have the knowledge base ID, whether it's in a file or whatever, you can go ahead and you can grab that and then get this information from the command line. A couple of other things you can do from here. And again, we're going to work with knowledge bases. This is part 1 of part 2 video. The next one will actually create a payload. But let's do an export. Okay, this actually requires environment. So production isn't a valid environment. So let's go ahead and take a look at test. I might actually have this under test. So let's run test real quick. Whoops, messed up my quote there. That'll fail fantastically. Let's just go ahead and do test. See what we got here. And there's our information. So that's actually a nice little export that exports directly to the standard out. So you'd want to take this information and pipe it into a file. So that kind of gives you your exported information. QnA documents. It has the IDs of each individual question and answer pair, or questions that match a particular answer. It tells you what your editorial or what your source is, custom editorial. So that kind of gives you all the information. So you can export your QnA Maker knowledge base information to a file in order to download and move to a different environment or put into source control, which is a good place to put some of this QnA Maker question and answer stuff so that it can be utilized across different environments. So in the next video, we'll actually take a look at creating a payload and what that looks like.